right, this is the Behringer cat. For those that aren't familiar, this has kind of been traditionally known as like a poor man's art odyssey, I guess. The architecture is very similar, as you can read about and see on various other videos online. This is more just an unboxing video. I'm gonna cut this thing open and see what it's like. Maybe play a little bit as well. Really do like these Behringer synths they've been putting out. It's just unbelievable how it's really democratized the synth world. Look at this. Manual, sticker. Let's see what we got here. Power supply. I'm assuming it's going to be for the US. All right. Wow, look at this thing. It's pretty clean. Nice packaging. Oops. There we go. Let's just move this thing out of the way. I don't need this anymore. Yeah, there we go. Oh man, look at that. Ooh. Cut this thing open. Not too worried about that. I've got plenty of dust covers, so sometimes I'll keep the plastic that the new gear comes in just as kind of a cheap dust cover until I can find something better, but I don't really actually need one right now. I've actually got some, so I'll make sure I don't cut myself here. Jeez. That'd be bad. There we go. Okay, alright. Probably good enough. Everything there good. Look at that, man. Smell that. New electronic smell. I love it. Okay. Very cool. Look at this thing. Man, it's just so sexy and compact. Well, I guess there's a lot of discussion on Gearspace, if you're interested, about the different filters that they used inside over the different versions of the original Octave Cat. There are like 3 different versions of the filter, and there's some discussion online about which one was the best. Obviously, it's a subjective thing. Seems like there's a large percentage of people that favored the, I guess, the second version filter. I guess it used a certain specific chip. Whereas this, the Behringer model, is a re-release of the 3rd version. All right, plug this thing in. All right, it's a little wobbly, I've noticed. I don't think that these feet are level. It's just a little bit wobbly there. It's like it's the metal casing is twisted or something. That's fine. Well, that's fine. Here we go then. Let's fire it up and let's see what it sounds like. Okay, so the way this thing works, it's kind of confusing at first, really. You got 2 oscillators. That's just the first one. You control them by, you have these sliders here. So you want a triangle, saw, pulse. Oh, I think the pulse width. Okay, yeah, that's. You gotta have this switch to DC for it to be controlled with the knob. Oh wow. Looks like it goes all the way to off. Let's just fire up the good old trusty Korg oscilloscope and see what some of that looks like. I like it has all the inputs and the outputs for CV. This is really great because you can add this to a modular system, and that's actually quite an extensive set of control voltage ins and outs for one of these cheaper Behringer, knockoff synths, quote unquote, or re-release, I should say. In this case, they were being very obvious about this being a re-release of the Cat. It wasn't a blatant, rip off, quote unquote. Anyway, we're not going to get into that discussion. But in any case, like if you look at the Wasp, I think it only has like 2 outs for the oscillators, I believe. It's very limited. So this is going to be very useful in a modular system. Anyway, so let's start this up and let's take a look at the waveform we're getting. There we go. Does that look bent? It looks a little, maybe from, just looks a little bent from my angle. Maybe it's a little, huh. Well, if they're solid, I think they're still solid enough. That sounds really good. Something hypnotic about that. Beautiful. Anyway, so that's square wave. Let's do the saw. Triangle. Ooh. Listen to that. All right. That's just a little too much bass. Too much bass. Is there such a thing? There's the sub-octave. So in any case, this is how you get the different sounds. So that's oscillator 1, obviously, and you can coarse tune it and fine tune it here. So let's listen to oscillator 2. Of course, we're going to have to tune that, so let's tune this. Let's tune this to this real quick and see what we got here. Tuned. Ooh, listen to that. Okay, that's the ADSR. So I got attack, decay, sustain, release, repeat. There's a repeat for the ADSR, cool. And auto just stays on its own. The delay. Okay, so keyboard control. I believe I need to do. I guess I should have just read. It's keyboard control, poly, off, and mono. Very cool. Okay. Now I can sync these two. But anyway, so what you can do now, of course, you've got these little knobs up here, are the modulation feeds. So if I wanted to modulate, say, the square wave, I can do it manually with DC, but I can also send it to the LFO, which is over here. And then there's also, you can modulate it with the ADSR. Okay. And then the manual. Very cool. Oh, my dog's dogs are going crazy, but my high-pitched sounds are going nuts. Oh my god, they do not like this. My dogs hate cats, what can I say? Actually, that's not true. I have two cats that they coexist perfectly fine. I just couldn't resist the joke. But anyway. Alright, let's check out the filter here. Of course, all the bass goes away when you crank up the resonance. Ooh, you can modulate that too. That's badass. All right. This is the fun thing about this too, is that this you can modulate back and forth, FM modulation, which is just crazy. Let's try that. So modulate VCO1, use VCO2. That's why they call it the cat. Some crazy sounds. That sounds like a cat to me. Okay, so mono mode means I can only play one note at a time. I guess poly. Let me get out of this modulation here. Okay, so poly means I can mix it duophonic. So you can play two notes. That's starting to sound a little bit like some Quintron drum buddy stuff going on there. Very, very cool how you can set this up so that you can kind of get a beat going. It's so cool. All right. Let's just max it all out. What happens? What? Anyway, this is a lot of fun. Thanks for watching.